What's up, Multiverse? Dr. Dave here. Welcome to the Geek Lounge. So on today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently as I preview and give you guys some information and updates on Manchester Comic Con. And I've been thinking about doing these videos for a while where I essentially preview, give updates, information, etc. on a forthcoming Comic Con that I will be attending. I may even do them for Comic Cons that I'm not going to be attending. I just don't know yet. And so this coming weekend, the 29th and 30th of July, is Monopoly Events Manchester Comic Con taking place from the Bowlers Exhibition Centre. But crazily enough, that isn't the only Comic Con happening in Manchester this weekend, as we also have MegaCon taking place from Manchester Central. I can only imagine neither entity wanted to back down. They had their dates, and so that's why we're getting two Comic-Con events in Manchester at the same time. But I'll only be covering Manchester Comic Con, which is the Monopoly Events one, because I'm not heading to MegaCon, though I do think they have some pretty cool guests. I know they've got virtually the whole cast, or at least the main cast of Red Dwarf, and if anyone is attending MegaCon, I hope you have a good time. And just very quickly, for anyone attending Manchester Comic Con, if you happen to see me, please come and say hi. I love the interactions with our viewers, with our subscribers. It has happened a couple of times where I have now been noticed as the channel is slowly but surely growing, but I love those interactions, guys. So like I said, please come and say hi. Oh, and if you guys are hunting for Funko Pops this weekend at Manchester Comic Con, make sure you head to the Persona Toys booth. There is their logo. If you mention to them Geek Lounge, you'll get a small discount on your purchases. I'll definitely be heading there to check through the shelves. They always have some really cool rare pieces, grails, tons of cool stuff. Make sure you guys check them out. And if you haven't secured tickets already, unfortunately the weekend and Saturday tickets are now sold out, but there are a handful of Sunday tickets still available, including the Diamond Pass, which not only gives you access to the con, but also allows you to skip lines for both the autograph and photo op sessions. You just obviously need to buy single tickets for those as well. And check this out real quick, guys. On their socials, they posted this image of lanyards earlier this week. So are we actually getting passes as opposed to wristbands, which I've always wanted Monopoly events to do? I hate wristbands. I really do prefer passes. Or is it just a free lanyard and we're still going to get a wristband? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Right, so let's quickly go through the guest list and then we'll talk about the cancellations in just a moment. So headlining is Zachary Levi, who has been in a bunch of things, but is probably most famous for his role as Shazam, at least in recent times. He is Saturday only though, guys, so anyone buying a Sunday ticket, he sadly won't be there. If you have purchased his auto, I would recommend heading straight there first thing on Saturday. He actually isn't sold out, so it's a little bit hard to gauge just how busy he'll be, but last thing you want to do is rock up late afternoon and run the risk of missing him. They may also move the line very quickly considering he is only there Saturday, but let's see. Hopefully not another few hours of queuing, but if you guys go to cons regularly, you should be used to that by now. So as of right now, I say that because things are of course subject to change. All the other guests are scheduled to appear both Saturday and Sunday. So who do we have? We have Elizabeth Berkley, Seth Green, Jesse T. Usher, a big Walking Dead turnout with Lauren Cohen, Christian SERRATOS, Corey Payton, Alana Masterson, Austin Emilio, Pollyanna McIntosh, Paola Lazaro, Michael James Shaw, and Cassidy McClincy. I really hope I didn't butcher any of those names. We also have a mini Vikings turnout with Clive Standen, Gustav Skarsgård, Jordan Patrick Smith, and Lucy Martin. And then rounding out, we have Ethan Suplee, Jake Busey, Dante Basco, David Yost, Tessa Peake Jones, Gwyneth Strong, Philip Pope, and Mike Starr. And I mentioned it earlier, we did sadly have a few cancellations recently, and they were some pretty damn cool guests. Carl MacLachlan of Twin Peaks fame and Anthony Starr of The Boys were another two headline guests who did sadly cancel in the past 1 to 2 weeks, and add to that Chase Crawford, also of The Boys, who was another cancellation. And so no information was given as to why they cancelled, but it very rarely ever is, guys. Was it due to the actor strikes? I mean, it could have been directly or indirectly, but we always have to remember, as much as we put these actors and singers and celebrities up on a pedestal, they are just human like the rest of us. You know, they will have health issues, family issues, all that stuff that we experience every day on this planet. So if you guys did purchase autographs and photo ops for Carl MacLachlan, the refunds were issued immediately. It normally takes like 5 or 7 days to reach your account. That may have happened already though, because he did cancel, I think it was about a week ago. And earlier this week, the emails did go out for Anthony Starr. I know a lot of people were chasing up for it because they were very disappointed. I was as well. I love The Boys and I love Anthony Starr as Homelander, but it is what it is, guys. So those refunds will be hitting your account within the next 5 to 7 days. The reason it took a while is they were actually negotiating with his agent to see see if he will maybe come to another con, whether it be Liverpool Comic Con or For the Love of Sci-Fi. But as I understand, they're still negotiating with him. Like, it's taken quite a long time. He may not attend a con, or at least a UK con here in 2023. So that's why they've decided to now issue the refund. And I've only ever had one guest cancellation before this at a Monopoly event. It was Northern Ireland Comic Con last year. Zach Aguilar, the voice of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, David from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Genos from One Punch Man, he did unfortunately cancel his appearance, and I did get my refund in like 3 days, I think it was, so it will definitely come, don't you guys worry. As for Chase Crawford, he has been announced for The Love of Sci-Fi, taking place December 2nd and 3rd from the same venue, the Bowlers Exhibition Centre. So they've actually sent out emails earlier this week giving you the option of a ticket transfer or a refund. You just have to make sure to respond to them with which you want. As for me personally, I will be going for a refund because I don't know if I will be attending For the Love of Sci-Fi, even though they have an absolutely amazing headline guest in Elizabeth Olsen. Yes, guys, if you didn't know, she is attending that event December 2nd, December 3rd, like I said, from the Bowlers Exhibition Centre in Manchester. She is fairly expensive for both autos and photo ops, but they have been doing this payment scheme. I just don't know if there are too many of them left because I think they were limited. But I do actually hope to meet Chase Crawford one day because I would love to get my Deep Funko Pop sign, because as you guys can see right here, I do have the one with the official con sticker. That would just be an amazing piece to add to the collection. Sign collection, because I already have the Funko Pop in the collection. You guys know what I mean. And I did mention their names earlier, but some of them will make up guests for these cancellations. Clive Standen, Jordan Patrick Smith, and Lucy Martin all announced from Vikings, as well as some professional cosplayers. So thanks to Monopoly Events for arranging that. And just very quickly, if you guys wonder what I am getting signed this weekend, they are all Funko Pops. First up, we have this Chase Shazam, A-Train from the boys, Rolo and Floki from Vikings to go with my Lagertha Funko Pop, which is right there. I don't know if you guys can quite make that out. I just now need Travis Fimmel to complete the collection. I don't know if he does cons. In fact, I'm actually looking down. You know what? I don't actually have the Seer, but I'm not too bothered about that. And lastly, we have these four from The Walking Dead: Maggie, Rosita, Ezekiel, and Dwight. I would have got some of the other guys, but their characters unfortunately don't have Funko Pops. And so speaking of signings, guys, I did want to talk about this because it is quite important at the moment with these actor strikes going on. What can and can't be done, what can and can't be said. Monopoly Events have actually posted some guidance on their website, but I did want to go through it with you briefly just so I can all spell it out for you. So guests are allowed to attend Comic Cons, they're allowed to meet us, talk to us, and sign things, but there are caveats to all of that. And so I don't forget anything, guys, and more importantly, I get it all right. I've written it down here on my laptop, so if you see me veering off to the side a bit, I'm just reading all the information to you guys. So specifically for signing, they cannot provide any prints or figures, Funko Pops, anything to do with a character that they have portrayed in a piece of stricken work. So what is stricken work? It's basically work that was carried out under this union contract, SAG-AFTRA, is that how you pronounce it? However it is pronounced, which is going to be like 90% of these attending guests' work. So if you've been to Monopoly Events before, you'll know that prints are normally provided if you do buy an autograph and you don't actually provide your own item. If you haven't been, that's kind of what happens in the normal sense. This time though, because these prints cannot be provided, at least for characters that have been portrayed again from this stricken work. So if you have bought an autograph, when you head to the guest's table and you haven't brought your own item, the only thing they will be able to sign are headshots and prints of them, maybe modeling, things like that, you know, not portraying any character essentially. So as a caveat to that, what Monopoly Events have done is provide a whole bunch of prints and they will be selling them for 50 pence. And also because like these are normally included as part of the autograph price, right? So what they also will be doing is taking all those prints that never sold or people didn't grab, whatever, from previous cons. So and then if you buy a new print for 50p, they'll let you choose up to 10 prints from previous cons. So essentially you could like get 11 prints for less than 5p each, which I think is pretty cool. There's been a few people that are accusing Monopoly Events of like trying to cash in on this actor strike, but it's not, guys. It's like a contractual, like, I don't know if obligation's the right way. It's a contractual thing, right? These things can't be provided as part of the guest's contract to come to the con. They can't be shown, you know, to be giving out these prints and things and signing them of characters or stricken work, like I've said. Now, if you yourself provide the item, so whether it be a print that you've purchased from Monopoly Events, a print or a poster you've got from elsewhere, figure, Funko Pop, that is all fair game. They can sign that absolutely no problem. It's just you have to provide it. They can't be the ones providing it. Can they still reject some items? I mean, of course they can, especially if you're going to provide some kind of counterfeit goods or things like that. They probably won't sign those. But as I mentioned, posters, figures, Funko Pops, I really can't see them rejecting those. And now a question a lot of people have asked, will the guests be able to sign character names? Will they be able to sign quotes? Monopoly Events did actually put out a tweet. Wait, is it actually called a tweet anymore? What, like the thing's X, right? So what are tweets? Anyway, that's a conversation for a different time, but they basically said that they're unsure. Some guests have said yes, some guests have said no, so they're not 100% sure. They're actually going with yes for now, but it will be at the guest's discretion. I personally didn't think it was going to be allowed, so I was kind of like ready to just get things signed rather than having character names or quotes, but if you do manage to get one, then great. And the reason I thought that is because guests can't talk about their stricken work, past, present or future, which is going to make for some interesting panel views. In truth, it's actually a real shame because we have all these Walking Dead cast members and they won't be able to talk about their characters, about the show. I mean, Lauren Cohen is in the new show, is it Dead City, something like that, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. She won't be able to talk about that. Likewise, we've got this mini Vikings cast coming. They won't be able to talk about Vikings. At least I think all of these things are union contracted shows. And so it does mean at the tables when we're getting autographs, they won't be able to talk about these characters either, or any of these projects. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but just tell them how much you support them, guys. You know, it's only really the top 1% of actors who are multi-millionaires. Maybe Zachary Levi's got a bit of a payday from playing Shazam, even though I think the second movie was a bit of a box office bomb, wasn't it? But the rest of these guys, they're not making super duper amounts of money. I know we're not either, but just show them some support, show them some love, you know, ask them some creative questions. Well, I was about to say ask them their favorite car. That's not really a creative question, but you guys know what I mean. But let's see how it goes. Like I said, it's probably going to be a little bit awkward. Maybe it'll be even cooler. Who knows? I guess only time will tell. And actually, I don't believe voiceover work is managed by the same union contracts. I know it's definitely not for anime. I don't know about American animation, but if it's not, and you want to go and meet Dante Basco, who of course voiced Zuko, I don't know if you guys can see him. No, it's actually just outshot there. He of course voiced Zuko in Avatar The Last Airbender. He is attending the con. He's an awesome guy as well, so make sure you go and talk to him. But I think he may be able to talk about Avatar The Last Airbender if I'm not mistaken. But as I said, he's a very, very cool dude regardless, so make sure you go and meet him. And as always with Monopoly Events, we've got a bunch of prop builds on the way for some really, really cool photo ops. Just to name a couple off the top of my head, I know there is Moe's Tavern from The Simpsons, The Walking Dead Don't Open the Doors, that one might be pretty cool. There's Luke's Land Speeder, and there's been a couple of others. I think they're also still announcing some. And not to forget, of course, all the amazing cosplayers, all the stores, all the fun activities to do for the weekend. I really am looking forward to it. It's my first Manchester Comic Con. I actually haven't been to the city of Manchester in over 10 years, which I know is now probably giving credence to my rivals. If you guys see, I am a Manchester United fan, and they always say that Manchester United fans don't live in Manchester, right? They're all outside of Manchester. My answer to that, though, is stop having a small club mentality. With that said, guys, let's wrap this video up. I hope it was enjoyable for you. More importantly, I hope it was useful for you. If so, be sure to give it a thumbs up, give it that like. It lets me know to do more of these videos in the future. If you do see me at Manchester Comic Con, like I said, make sure you come by and say hello. Otherwise, I do hope you have an awesome time. And I guess I'll see you guys at Manchester Comic Con. Peace out, nerds.